Welcome back to another episode of Across the Board. We're here together.
Mm-hmm.
Like been a couple weeks.
It has been a while.
No, not always. Last week we were on. So I said a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But you were sort of different today.
We are.
Not normal. We're in Auburn, Alabama. Home of the Auburn Tigers. Who we will talk about here in a minute.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, today we've got baseball to talk about and regionals to talk about, which were interesting to say the least. Did not go the way we expected to go.
Very unexpected. I think is that
Very much.
It's what we're looking for.
Sure. But yeah, we got to dive deep into all the upsets that happened. Some which were disappointing, to say the least. Then others we were happy to see.
Oh, yeah, we
We're
were.
happy to see. So, might as well just jump right into it.
You want me to start?
Sure.
All right, so let's just start with the 1 seed. Of all teams, okay, Cal Poly wins the Los Angeles Regional without even having to play UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the easiest paths to winning a regional you could possibly have. But UCLA loses twice to St. Mary's and had to walk off Virginia Tech late in the game. Initial thoughts for me, just when their ability to win at any moment, their ability to find a way to win, just it wasn't here. I mean, and really surprisingly to me, this series between St. Mary's UCLA, both games were very low scoring. I kind of expected to see a bunch of hitting, but very low scoring, and just UCLA couldn't get that big hit late in the game. I mean, they had their chances, they had their opportunities. They were up early in that elimination game, late against St. Mary, but St. Mary just kept kind of climbing back into the game, and the UCLA pitching didn't have their stuff late. One of your best closers came in and wasn't bad, but St. Mary's got some clutch hits. But, you look at it like this for me, I mean, it just shocked the world. I mean, even as bad as they played, you kind of thought they would still find a way to win. And because that's kind of all they've done all year. I mean,
yeah, you saw it against Virginia Tech.
You saw it against Virginia Tech.
They were going to win that game, and they did. So
no, you saw it against them. You saw it in the Big Ten tournament. Just to them finding ways to win games. Mm-hmm. But you look. I mean, just watching those two. I mean, you lost St. Mary's. I mean, you couldn't get the big hit when you needed it. Couldn't get the big pitch when you needed it, and it was really unfortunate to see. I mean, all 1 seeds are 26-0 entering game ones, and you lose game one, and it was like, okay, like that's surprising. But to me and you, we were like, okay, there's no way they lose another game, and surely they get St. Mary again, and they lose. It was a shock to us. I mean, you hate to see it. I mean, and the big thing was game one as well. Like they had injuries in that game. Will Gasparino was out. He had a suspension because he got ejected in the Big Ten tournament. You had an injury pregame. You had Logan Redmond couldn't even pitch this weekend. So there was just kind of a lot game one that didn't go your way. But like you said, I mean, after that, we thought they would be fine, and just a little bit of a mishap game one. But no, they struggled throughout their regional.
I mean, yeah, struggle is the way to put it. I mean, again, like we said, we thought they would kind of just turn it around. The first game was and I even said it was kind of just a punch in the face, like not something that UCLA had been used to. I mean, they only lost 1 game in conference play, so yeah, not really used to being punched in the face. But we thought that maybe they'd punch back because that's what they've done. I mean, and so come Saturday and playing Virginia Tech, you thought they would kind of, but they did. I mean, they did punch back. They came out early with a lead, and looked good, and then just slowly throughout the game, Virginia Tech got hits after hits after hits, and slowly just fought their way back into the game, and yeah, they walked it off. So it's just disappointing if you're UCLA. I think you have to look though at the star players of UCLA and what they did this week, and it's little to none. Especially Rock he went 2 for 12 this week. A man who hits 330 going into this week, and he only gets 2 hits. Very disappointed. Very disappointing week for him because every time he steps into the plate, you think he's going to do something, and he had some chances to do some things this last week.
And really late in the game on that point.
So, yeah, and it just didn't show up. Obviously, you're talking about Will Gasparino being out the first game, and then Lavu, same thing. I mean, I don't. He didn't get a hit in the first game they played on a single hit. So, and it was a low-scoring game, and 3-2. So, it's just I don't think the star players shine. I mean, they just didn't shine this week like we've seen them. Other people had to step up, and they just couldn't get other people to step up. There just was nobody there to really help them out. And like you said, their pitching didn't really help them out. But I mean, hey, if you're UCLA, you go. We had a great year, but this week is just the worst week to have a bad week, and it was the first for UCLA all year to have a bad week. And I told you, I said they're eventually going to have a bad week. It's just when do they have it? But do they have it a whole weekend, or do they have it just one game? And figuring out they would have it all game.
Yeah, well, and just simply ending the topic on this. I mean, again, they had a bad game 1, right? Okay, there it is. Yeah. But now we can see them bounce back.
Yeah,
it just didn't happen. So they struggled. But I want to move to the winner of this regional, Cal Poly. They gave up 5 runs all weekend. And I emphasize their pitching staff at the beginning of the year. I love their pitching group. You had Griffin Nace, game 1. He went 7 innings, only giving up 5 hits, 2 runs. One of those earned, 3 walks, 9 Ks. I love this group pitching. And, again, they're a good team that can hit. Me and you talked about them being a hitting team. And we saw it in game 2 against St. Mary's. They put up 14 runs. We know what they can do with the bats. And, again, like I told you many times, I love their pitching group. And, I just love what they're able to do. You got a very solid rotation with Griffin Nace game 1. You can go to Carson Turnquist in game 2. He went 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 7 Ks. And again, putting up 14 runs, that'll do some justice in a lot of games. Yeah. Great group. Ryan Taman had 3 hits in this game. Nate Castellon had 3 hits in this game. You look at this team, and we knew they would be a solid team in this regional. Certainly we weren't going to sit here and say, oh, they're definitely going to win. We definitely weren't saying that. But, they've got a solid rotation. They've got good bats. We saw that, how they matched up with St. Mary's. And like I've emphasized, I love the pitching group. And then game 3, Josh Wolmerding went 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. The pitchers dealt this weekend. Their starting rotation dealt, and their bats were good. And even better, you didn't have to play UCLA. So, you move on, but this was, they played well this weekend. Again, their pitching's great. We know they can hit, and I'm interested to see how they match up against West Virginia on Friday.
They had easy way to put it, an amazing week. Obviously winning, but also not having to play UCLA was a big deal for them. I do want to shout out Casey Murray Jr. He went 7 for 12 this weekend with 5 RBIs. He was hitting the crap out of the ball, but they hit the crap out. Everybody hit the crap out of the ball for their team all week, and they just looked great. We knew they had a chance going into the regional. We knew that they could be really good and they could win some games. didn't really think they could win the regional, but they showed us wrong, and they absolutely ran through that regional, and it was not tough. And so now they're going to have an interesting path to try to get to Omaha. We'll talk about the team they're playing here in a minute, but they look great this week, and if they play like this again, their bats stay this high, there's a chance we could see them in Omaha.
Yeah, and I mean, and last thing, obviously, I don't want to stay on one regional too long. We have a lot to get to.
Yeah.
But again, like we talked about it, like, and the beauty of college baseball, which we'll kind of talk about it once we go through all the regionals, just I say the diversity, but just I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Parity.
Yeah, the parity that the team we're going to go to next, the top 2 seeds lost, and we thought they had an absolute dynamite roster. And I mean, that's just to see this happen. I mean, I think it's great for the game of college baseball. But we'll move to the 2 seed, who won and came out of the Atlanta Regional, Oklahoma. I did not see this coming. I didn't.
No.
They beat Georgia Tech twice, walked them off in Game 7, which I don't think that they shouldn't have been able to walk them off on their home field. I don't know why. That doesn't make sense.
Well, there was your ways. Oklahoma was 17.
I know, but I don't think they should. That's a discussion for after.
You got to switch. They switch. You can't be the home team every game.
I know, but I think they should switch that in general. Like, if you're a hosting site, I think you should be the home team the whole way.
Okay.
But anyways, back to what we're talking about. Oklahoma lost to Georgia Tech. I believe this would be on Saturday. Lost to them 9-3. And then you go to Sunday. You're down, I believe it was 8-3 early on in that game. Come back to win 15-8. Then on Monday, you get down 7-3, and you come back and walk it off in the 10th.
An absolute pump.
That was a nuke. I think they said it was 451.
It was dead center field.
It was a nuke. But, we knew Oklahoma's ceilings. We saw it earlier in the year. We know what their potential was. Just how they have played down the stretch, and really just kind of second half of the season in the back half, I didn't think that I just didn't think that they would be able, or really have enough to be able to beat Georgia Tech. But I was wrong. I mean, their bats came alive in Game 1 of the elimination, of the series. Mm-hmm. And then Game 2, you get down, you get up early, you go down 7-3, and you just chip your way back into the game. I mean, we know the firepower in this lineup Oklahoma has. We've seen it. We know the guys that they have. I mean, Camden Johnson being a big back, Dayton LaChance, Trey Gamble, and the winner, or the guy who walked it off, Dayton Taki. We know what power they have in this lineup. We know they can hit. And just like on Georgia Tech side, I mean, they've got an outstanding lineup. We know that. The big question for me was just how would the pitching fare in this series? Because, I mean, honestly, I have no confidence in it. We know they can throw, but it just hasn't been good coming down late in the season. But they were able to steady the ship, calm everything down, come back and win these 2 games. I mean, just shout out to Oklahoma. I mean, I'm still shocked this happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. New Oklahoma's good, but Georgia Tech we thought was a lot better. But I think the thing that let Georgia Tech down this week, and we said it, was their pitching. We knew they were a great hitting team. But their pitching ultimately let them down. In the last 2 games, they threw 12 guys and gave up 31 hits. It's not going to win you the ball games. I mean, it's just not going to do it. And so, obviously you saw Oklahoma just slowly climb their way back into both of those games, and it was just because they were getting hit after hit. I mean, it wasn't even like they were hitting homer after homer. It was just singles, a double here and there, another single, just getting guys on and just slowly bringing them through. And it was scoring like 1 run an inning, just for 4 straight innings, and they were back in it. Like, that's just what they were doing. And it was kind of insane that Oklahoma came back especially with Georgia Tech having the lead and their pitching then giving it up. It wasn't like they were tight ball games, like all the way through, and it just Georgia Tech just didn't pitch good. Just didn't pitch kind of good. But like, no, Oklahoma climbed back into both these games. They were comeback wins, and I mean, Oklahoma's pitching was good too because obviously you let up some runs at the beginning of the game, but then after that you don't let up anything, and so they did it in both games. I mean, so obviously we know that Oklahoma was going to have a chance to a degree, but to beat the team that I think almost everybody in the baseball world thought was probably going to win the national championship.
I picked them to win it.
Lose, it's kind of insane. They just, I think it showed an underlying issue that people hadn't seen from them, and it was in their pitching because their hitting was so good. We talked about it the other day. It's just, I think they had an issue early on with pitching, and I think it got overshadowed because of their just an underlying issue at the end. It was shown because we were so used to them scoring 15 runs and their pitchers having to come in and basically just they might give up one or two, but like they're still winning by 10 runs, but this week you couldn't do that, and it's just not. They had leads when the pitchers came up against a hot team and just couldn't do anything. So, good job to Oklahoma. Shout out them because they played amazing and honestly could do some damage. Could get to Omaha. They really could. They have an interesting matchup for sure, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I mean, Oklahoma just was the better team this week.
Yeah. And I mean, just last thing. I mean, the pitching. Like, I was confident because the pitching had gotten better throughout the season. I thought. To me, I think I had noticed the pitching, but I wasn't, again, like you said, it's overshadowed. Like, I wasn't too concerned. I'm like, well, they can still win a hitter's duel. I mean, that's what they can do. But like you said, I mean, if once they needed the pitching to come in clutch, it wasn't there. And that was huge. And shout out Jackson Cleveland for Oklahoma coming in late in that game and calming things down. I mean, he went 3 2/3 and 4 strikeouts, and only walked one guy. I mean, he came in and shut the deal down.
Mm-hmm.
So really, just a big win for Oklahoma, and just honestly good for them, man. What a great weekend that they had.
For sure.
All right, let's go to Georgia now. They won their regional pretty handily, and not really too surprised. However, they will not have Trey Phelps for their first game, as he was ejected.
Yep. I mean, yeah, there's not much to talk about in this regional, to be honest, because Georgia ran through it pretty much with kind of what we expected. Liberty hung in there in a couple of games for maybe like 10 innings in total of both games they played them, but overall they just couldn't hang with Georgia. They were feeding the trees pretty well. And so, yeah, but speaking of feeding trees, Trey Phelps fed the trees in the last game. He got a little too excited. Then he got fed the ejection.
He did, yeah. So, and Wes Johnson got fed.
Well, but then after that, Wes Johnson got fed the ejection. But yeah, I mean, Georgia played amazing. Nothing that is out of the ordinary. But then, obviously, the Trey Phelps incident, just a little bit too much of taunting. He did too much. Looking at the opposing dugout, can't do that while walking the bases. Should have known better. So they will be without him in the first game of the Supers, which will be a big hit for them, especially him being the leadoff guy and being as great as he has this season. It will be a disappointing loss for them. So we'll see how that affects them, if it does at all. But without the rest of the team, Georgia might not be in any trouble.
Yeah, I mean, only thing I'm going to say is this bullpen for Georgia, man, they're just good.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I look at game 2 and 3, obviously. Like, first off, Kate Naoki, great arm they have. We got to watch him in the SEC tournament, and the stuff he has, it's elite. I want to talk about Matt Scott. I mean, he came out the bullpen. Dylan Vigil, he struggled early in that game. He gave those 2 runs. Matt Scott came in, went 5 innings, giving up 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 4. Then Justin Bird, he went 2 2 2/3. He had 4 strikeouts as well. I mean, what solidified me this weekend and just really made me feel even better about this Georgia team is just their bullpen. I mean, again, we've talked about it, how good it's been and how better it's gotten throughout the year. But watching the bullpen this weekend just gives you some confidence. Like, knowing that their next arm coming in is going to be just as good. Like, there's no concern when they go in that bullpen. I mean, you talk about the pieces of Matt Scott, Justin Bird, Paul Farley, Kane Aoki even starting now. I mean, I love the pieces they have, and this team is. I mean, we obviously know they're dangerous. They're a dangerous team, but Mississippi State's gonna have their hands full in this weekend.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But
Well, we'll move on to the number 4 seed, which was interesting regional to say the least.
fun.
In Auburn, they just down the road actually. They had quite a fun time. Not really for the first game.
We did not go there.
But yeah, no, we did not. But for the first game, though, they got surprised. It came out early, and Milwaukee, they had a losing record going into the regional. They still do have a losing record technically going out of the regional. But they played amazing. I just got to give them credit, just all in all. They played insanely good. The first game, to say the least, too. It's really what we're here to discuss. They beat Auburn 13-8, and they had a 10-0 lead in that game. So it really wasn't even like a close 13-8. It was just a flat-out just demolishment of Auburn in the first couple of innings. And, I mean, the only thing you can say about them is that their pitching sucked. I mean, their pitching sucked. They shoved 8 guys in the first game. They gave up 16 hits, 13 earned runs, obviously, and 6 walks. You can't do that. I mean, obviously this Milwaukee team might not have been, maybe they were sleepwalking a little bit. You know, Auburn was going in and saying they're the 4 seed. They're Milwaukee. They have a losing record from the Horizon League. They're not much to worry about. So we throw our guy. I mean, we threw our guy.
You threw
Jake Marciano. I mean, we throw our number 1 guy, and he gives up 8 hits and 6 runs in the first inning, all earned. He struck out 2. Like, wow, that must have been an absolute punch to the face. I mean, there's nothing you can really say about that. If you're Marciano, you're just standing there going, what in the world happened?
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, we were at graduation before we were able to start watching. I got there, started watching the 4th inning. I saw the score, and I'm like, okay, did Auburn just start another guy like every other team just does? And I look, and no, Marciano's on the mound. Milwaukee was just teeing off on them, and their bats were absolutely great this weekend.
Oh, yeah, their bats were great for the first 2 games. That's for dang sure. Because, I mean, obviously you beat Auburn, and you're thinking, well, yeah, that's surprising. But, like, Milwaukee won't do it again, right?
They did.
Yeah, they did. You know, like, they do it again, and not even do they do it again. They score another 13 runs on UCF. They win that game 13-6, and again got out to a really early lead, and they were just teeing off on anybody they saw. It doesn't matter the pitcher that was up there. They had 9 hits in this game, scored 13, hit a couple bombs. But I mean, it's just insane to look at it, and they're pitching. They give up 14 runs in the first 2 games combined, but their pitching was honestly good because these games weren't as close as they might seem. The UCF game started off a little close, but then they just ran away with it, and their pitching was good. And it wasn't velocity that was beating, UCF and Auburn. No, Milwaukee, I think's average fastball is like, out of all their pitchers, their average velo is 88. Like, these guys aren't throwing, gas. No, they're throwing things that spin in the dirt and they're swinging at it. Yeah, and so, you look at UCF. UCF knew that this Milwaukee team was hot at the plate because of what they did to Auburn, and they gave up 9 hits and 13 runs, and they walked 9 guys. Plate discipline for Milwaukee was great this weekend. And so you're thinking, all right, Milwaukee's 2-0. And Auburn lost the game. So what does Auburn do Saturday? Well, I think they were a little pissed off because they come out and I think it was the first team ever to be down 10-0 early in 2 innings or whatever it was, 3 innings in the first game, and then be up 10-0 in the second game because they came out, they were up 10-0 against NC State very, very early, and you thought, oh my gosh, they might win this game by 30. Well, they didn't win the game by 30 because actually NC State slowly but surely somehow made its way back into this ball game. And I kept thinking there's no way that NC State could pull this off. They didn't. But it became a lot closer than what they thought. Auburn ended up winning 17-13. Their bats were amazing. NC State's pitching was horrendous. They gave up 18 hits, only threw 4 guys, but they gave up 18 hits, 17 runs, and walked 7 guys. Not what you can do is hot to just an Auburn team that can get hot very easily. And I think easily the player of the week for Auburn was Chase Fralick. He was insane. What he had 6 home runs, so 5 home runs,
a lot of them.
A lot of them in moonshots. So now you see Auburn and score 17. So you go, okay, well, they got to play Milwaukee again. Can they beat them twice? Well,
Yeah,
let's just say Milwaukee couldn't pull it off. Sadly enough, wanted to see Milwaukee pull it off because I wanted to see a team with a losing record get in. But Auburn goes, hey, you're not beating us again. Beats them 8-1. Their pitching looks good. Even in the last 2 games, their pitching hadn't looked good. And then you go to Monday, and it was a closer game.
It really was. I mean, on Monday, the game was, I think it was 2-2 through the 5th or 6th, and then
Yeah, it was 2-2 for a while.
yeah, I mean, and I want to say it was Trace Fralick who the bomb would take it up 3-2.
And
they
that inning
when
was
they-
just
But Auburn's pitching got better throughout the weekend. It needed to, but the big thing, their bats came alive.
yeah.
And I told you I would love to see their bats get hot. And if their bats do, they can be a dangerous team. And they were forced to come alive on Saturday in the 17-13 win. You scored 9 on Sunday, 8 on Sunday, 9 on Sunday, another 8 on Sunday, and then 8 on Monday to win. But again, we saw their bats come alive. That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Alex Petrovic and Ryan Hetzler, I think, continue to be 2 arms that I love.
Yeah.
I mean, Petrovic isn't going to blow you away with velocity. I mean, you think 93, 92, 93, but he's got stuff.
Yeah.
He pitched very well against UCF. Hetzler, I believe he started on Sunday as well. Yeah, he started in the 8-1 win. I believe that. No, I may be wrong. Either way, he started the 8-1 win. He pitched outstanding. I mean, he kept doing his thing, and then Marciano and Sanders.
Shelton got teed off again in the Monday game. He gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. But when he had to come out. But then Jackson Sanders came in and absolutely dulled.
Yeah.
He looked amazing. And we talked about this Auburn team going into the regional saying, well, if they could hit, they could win this regional easily because their pitching is so good that their bats just have to get hot. And they were hot in the SEC tournament for a couple games. Then they got kind of cold again. And he said, man, only if this Auburn team could just hit over and over again, they could easily run through this regional. Well, their bats got hot, and they didn't easily run through this regional. They had to win 4 games in a row. It was the pitching that gave it up for them that actually had their bats. They had to make their bats be hot. They had to be hot. And honestly, it might not be a bad thing for Auburn because they know their pitching is good. They know their pitching is still there, but now their bats are smoking hot. So maybe this is what they need.
You and I were on the same boat. I was thinking the same thing this weekend. I mean, I probably didn't tell you, but I think we talked about it. I mean, I said the same thing. It's like, yeah, the pitching wasn't great, but it forced the bats to come alive. They didn't have a choice. They're like, hey, we got to score runs. We want to win, and they did that. I mean, the bats came alive. They won their games last 4. It's pretty handily. There's it was close. Like I said, the final game was close for a while, but they won handily, and they're still a dangerous team, man.
No.
And we know what we still know what Marciano and Sanders stuff is. I mean, we know what Petrovic, Hetzler have. I mean, we know what Alvarez and Cormier can do. I mean, I love the group still. You got punched game one, but then you fight right back and they're able to win. So what a big weekend for them. And they get to go face, I don't know, why am I forgetting? Ole Miss. They get to go face Ole Miss. I was like, it's like, oh my word. Anyways, let's move on to Chapel Hill Regional. This one was pretty fun to watch. I say so myself, but North Carolina comes out of it, who I picked to come out of it. Wasn't surprised, but, it was just fun to watch. No questions asked. Look, we know what North Carolina has. I mean, they're always a good program. We know Scott Forbes, and he can always build a great roster. VCU and VCU got to beat Tennessee. Big win for them.
Yeah, Tennessee went 0-2 in this regional this week. That was insane to think. I know you didn't think they would do that. But I thought they would at least win a game. Yeah. Even I thought they would win a game. But ECU battled this week, and that's what I thought. I thought they could come out of this regional. Sadly, they did not come out of this regional. But they won, obviously, a first game against Tennessee. They had to go to extras, and it ended up going 14 innings. They ended up scoring 4 more runs on them, won it 7-3. And then they lose a close game against North Carolina. They looked really good, but lost a game by 2 runs. They have to go play VCU then. They blow them out of the water 10-0. And I thought maybe they'd have a chance to go play UNC again and be a little closer this time. They really didn't. So it was close for a little while, but then UNC brought it out of the water, and they just looked good.
They brought in Ethan Norby. They're trying, but he threw a lot of pitches this week, so it's tough to, ask a lot of him, especially what he did. But on North Carolina's end, man, like, I love, again, their pitching's good. We know what they have. We know they can hit. We know they can pitch. I mean, Ryan Lynch, he went 7 innings, giving up 2 hits, 4 walks, 5 Ks against VCU to open up game 1. And then, game 2 against ECU, that was a battle. Yeah. I mean, they battled for the longest time in that game. And that was a fun one. Jason Nicaro, Caden Glauber, one of their best arms. He's been really good this year. He went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. And he's one of their good arms. And then eventually East Carolina, day 3, and they got out very early in this game, and they just did not look back. And not surprised to see this from North Carolina. We know how good they are.
Yeah.
They hit well. They can pitch. They've got arms they can go to. And again, they're always going to be a dangerous team. Like, there's never a time you see North Carolina and then you're not like, well, we get our hands are going to be very full this weekend. But a fun regional. I mean, we knew it'd be a fun one to watch. Love watching ECU play in this regional. I mean, they're always a fun team. We love Ethan Norby. Great arm, and just this team. It's always fun watching them in a regional. I mean, it's competitive. Watching even VCU and Tennessee. I mean, they made this regional fun, and this was an entertaining regional at that. But
more runs scored than we thought, because we thought it was going to be pitching goal.
Yeah, and I mean,
more runs scored than we thought. But it was fun to watch, and good for you, UNC. They're not going into the Supers. But now we'll move on to the Austin Regional, number 6 in Texas. And honestly, there's not much to talk about.
Nope.
There's not much to talk about. Other than the fact that sadly we did not get to see the pitching duel we wanted. Because UC Santa Barbara came out on Friday and decided we're going to get blown out by Tarleton. Yeah. And Tarleton blew them out. Easily. So then they have to throw Jackson, Florida on Saturday, not against Texas. Disappointingly enough, because we really wanted to see Florida and Atlantis go at it. But then Texas threw Atlantis on Saturday, and they ran through this regional. They had to play UC Santa Barbara at the end, but they went 3-0. Easy. Well, not an easy win per se. They won 6-4. No, it was close, but Texas still just kind of. It was a close, but not really hard game for Texas to win. They did what they needed to, and They won this regional with ease. Their bats were hot. Their pitching was amazing. Nothing out of the ordinary for Texas. Coming off, obviously, losing in the SEC tournament, their first game against Arkansas. We thought maybe we could see something. We either thought they were going to come out hot like they did, or they were going to come out really cold and keep it up. But even I said it. I said they probably losing the first game, they were going to come out really hot and win the regional easily.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. I mean, nothing surprising here.
I mean,
Nothing
I'm
surprising.
trying to count the run differential here. I'm trying to just, 19 in the first game, 16 in the second.
They scored 41 runs this week.
Yeah, I mean, we know what they can do. Their lineup is absolutely elite with all the pieces they have. And we know how good their pitching is, man. I mean, they've got arms everywhere. You got Harrison, Volantis, Ruger, Riojas. I mean, and then just go in the bullpen with Crossland, Cozart, you name it. I mean, you could just go to anybody. This is a good team. We know that. I mean, we've said it. It's no surprise to one of us. How far can they go is just what the same question for us. You know, what can they do? And can they keep this up?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the lineup in the roster to go as far as they want. Can they?
Yeah.
It's just all through them. We'll go to Tuscaloosa. This one was fun. Really interesting, honestly. I don't know if I should say fun or interesting for this regional. Can't really know how to put it into words, but
Well, it was interesting for the teams other than Alabama, really.
it really was.
I mean, we knew this was the highest ERA regional. No, sorry, second highest ERA regional, I believe, only to Nebraska's. Oh, that was the other way around.
I think the other way.
This is the highest ERA regional, so we knew it was going to be a hitter's fest, and it definitely was. Alabama came out first game against Alabama State, scored 21, and we thought, oh no, oh no, this is going to be fun.
They scored 37 runs this weekend.
And yeah, I mean, they just this regional is interesting. Obviously, then we see Alabama State had to go play Oklahoma State because Oklahoma State gets out hit by
USC Upstate.
Okay, well, USC Upstate, SC Upstate, whatever. USC Upstate came out and scored 9 runs in their first game against Oklahoma State, and they win that game. So now Oklahoma State has to play Alabama State, and they do. And then all of a sudden they're up by 6 runs. They're up 6-0 in that game. Alabama State makes a comeback. This game has to go to extras because Oklahoma State's pitcher, I'm forgetting his name. I'm really kind of disappointed.
Walked 4 straight batters.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's pitcher. I think it was Pesca. Was it Pesca?
I know.
Either way, he ended up walking. No, it couldn't have been Pesca. Yeah, no, it was Pesca. He ended up walking 3 guys in a row to load the bases, and then 3 guys in a row with 1 guy on. So it gave a guy in, tied the ball game, had to go to extras. Somehow he got out of the inning. Somehow they let him pitch again in the 10th. I don't know where we're thinking that's a good idea because he walks another batter, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my gosh, Alabama State could win this. I mean, Oklahoma State scored another run in the top of the 10th to go up 1. Alabama State has an easy chance. They have guys on base. They have a chance. Then they just start swinging the balls. They had a great plate discipline. They watched the guy throw 20 balls. And then all of a sudden, I guess Alabama State goes, well, we got to swing the bat. And they start swinging the bat for no reason. They could have won the game. The pitcher threw 3 straight balls in the 9th, in the bottom of the 9th. 3 straight balls. The count was 3-0. 3-0. Alabama State guy goes, whoop, whoop, whoop. At 3 balls. This man, they could have won the game. And it was disappointing to see, but good for Oklahoma State, obviously. So then Oklahoma State goes and plays. Alabama beats SC Upstate easily. Well, not easily, close. It was a close game. They won by 2. But Alabama had the game, I feel like. And then they, obviously, Oklahoma State's going to play SC Upstate. They beat them. Get revenge. They got to go play Alabama again. And this game was a close game. It was a really close game. Thought Oklahoma State could do it. Had to go to extras. Went to 11 innings. But
And then Brady
Alabama
Neal,
bats.
Brady Neal hit an absolute pimp rocket.
Alabama bats, man.
Brady Neal pimp slapped that
We
ball.
knew they could hit the ball. We know both teams can hit the ball. Obviously, 16 runs scored in that game. Alabama did what they needed to with the bats. I mean, that's just that was the weekend. And then we knew that was probably what it was going to be. We knew their pitching was really hot. They could run through this regional like easily. And they ended up only winning the last 2 games by 2 runs each.
But the pitching was still good, I
But
thought.
yeah, I think the pitching showed out what it needed to be because obviously they did win these games. They went 3-0. But their bats were just they were Alabama.
Yeah, well, and a big thing. I mean, like you said, the Alabama success can really be heavy, really dependent on how good can the pitching be. I think that's the big thing for them. Look, Tyler Fay, Zane Adams, Miles Upchurch, like they have good arms. They do. We know what they have. They got arms to be good. Can they be consistent?
It's almost going to be
It's kind of like an
consistent.
Ole Miss,
Yeah, it's
Ole Miss situation. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's can the rotation be consistent? Like again, Miles Upchurch for me. Like I've been high on him because he's gotten better throughout the year. I feel like kind of started the year was a struggle, but he progressively gotten better throughout the year. Zane Adams has just been what he's been all year. He's been consistent.
Pretty much.
And then Tyler Fay, we know his ceiling.
Said really highs and really lows.
But we know his ceiling. Yeah, but we know his ceiling. And look, this Alabama team, man. We know, and again, the pop and the bats. We know their ceiling. When all 3 guys are on and pitching, and they're throwing good, this Alabama team can be absolutely lethal. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how. I mean, they got St. John's, a team who pitched pretty well this weekend themselves.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see how they match up. I think it's going to be an interesting regional between for sure. But we'll go to the 8th seed and gets to host a regional, the Troy Trojans, and they'll play.
No. Florida got to host the 8 regional.
I'm saying they're hosting a super.
Yeah.
If they get there as a super. And they'll get to play Little Rock, the Little Rock Trojans. I can't say I expected this to happen because I surely didn't. Jaden over here is not too happy.
No, I probably should just walk out. I don't have much to say. Much good to say, other than Friday, Florida plays Ryder. They have to walk it off. Ryder comes back, scores 4 in an inning, goes up. Florida then goes back into the bottom of the inning, goes up. Ryder goes back into the top of the 9th, goes up again, and they score a run, tie the game. Brendan Lawson's first at the bat at the bottom of the 9th. He hits a walk-off homer. So you're thinking, all right, as a Florida fan, doing good. Troy loses their first game to Miami. A close game, should have won it probably, but they lose their first game. Troy has to go win on Saturday in their first game, wins that game easily against Ryder. Florida then goes play Miami after a couple rain delays. This game goes until midnight, 1 a.m. in Gainesville, and Florida scores 22 on Miami. This game was close at one point at a whopping 8-8, and then 10, and then all of a sudden Florida just said, "Yeah, screw Miami in the 8th," and put up a large number. And 9 to be exact. And obviously win the game 22-10, and you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, what is this Florida team?" Because that was insane. And you go to the next day, they're 2-0. Troy wins another game. You go, okay, they beat Miami, they get revenge easily, and well, kind of easily. You go, all right, Florida gets to play Troy. They just have to win 1 game in 2. Give it 2. They're throwing Russell Standifer. He pitches great in the first game against Troy. He comes out, bullpen goes in. There's no good words to say. Bad. That's how I'll put it. Easily bad. Troy wins this game in dominating fashion. They end up winning 16-11, and that 16-11 was never actually close because Florida ended up scoring, I think it was like 6 in the 8th.
Yeah.
Or 6 and 7, something like that. And then they go to Monday. Okay, force a Monday game. Sunday, and we have our own thoughts about this. Sunday, Florida decides to not care about that game, I think, and go, well, we got to save arms for Monday if we do get there. And that's what happened to the 16 score. They go on Monday, and they start Cooper Walls. He gives it 2 runs in the first. Caden McDonald comes in. Been the best, I just want to say, best bullpen arm of the last, half the semester. Comes in, amazing. I mean, amazing. I mean, you got to give the man credit. He was getting double plays after double plays. No other pitcher had done that in Florida all weekend. And he threw
4 1/3.
Yeah, 4 1/3. Didn't give up any runs.
And his pitch count was awfully low.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw
why he's not on those.
He threw 48 pitches.
Yeah, no, he threw 48 pitches.
His season high was 56.
His season high was 56. Gets a ground ball out to shortstop. Then I see that slow walk out of the dugout. I love that slow walk usually, but that slow walk was not happy. It was not a good walk to see. Comes out, gives him the signal. Comes out of the game. What happens?
You bring in Sandifer to give up 3 runs.
He walked 3 guys. 3 guys. So he didn't even give up any runs. He walked 3 guys.
He gave up.
He walked 3 guys. Bases loaded. He had 1 out already in the inning. Ernesto Lugo Canchola, who's everyday Ernie, came in. Actually, in that inning, he did his job. He didn't allow any of his own runs. But the next inning didn't do anything good. He allowed 2 more earned runs. Troy's at this point running away with the game. They bring in Joshua Reitner, try to get something going. Hopefully, Bass can get going for Florida because they were hot all weekend. They could not. And Florida loses their second regional, only while hosting, being a top 8 seed. And by being a top 8 seed, this is the second time they've lost ever. And the question: what happened?
Well, I'll say this. It's funny because I proceeded to watch the Texas A&M game after that. And Freshcorn, whose season high was maybe the 60 range, threw 99 pitches. I mean, A&M was unleashing his arm. I mean, because he was pitching good. I mean, he gave a 3-run bomb, but honestly, it was a good pitch. It just even better hit. I'm just confused. I was definitely just as lost as you were. Obviously, just watching the game, no care in the world who wins. But you have to wonder, he's not even above his pitch count at this point. I'm not sure what you're thinking. I mean, I would understand it if there were some hard hit balls and he was kind of, if you saw Velo lost maybe as a coach, or, they were getting some really hard hit balls that were, just absolute ropes, but we weren't even seeing that. Just ground balls and outs. I don't know what the move was for. None of us will ever know. But you bring in Sandifer, and he could not get settled in whatsoever.
Well, we talked about this. He's a starter. He's used to having some time to work through innings. He's not used to having to come into a situation and have to immediately throw results. You saw Cooper Wall start the game. It's almost like it gives you an idea of what a starting pitcher kind of thinks. Cooper Walls early on gave up 2 hits. He gave up 2 runs, and he was I think he was just nervous. This is his first start since March 16th. But then he settled in. He struck out the next 2 guys, but then walked the guy in the next inning. So obviously slowly takes him out. But you got to think of it this way: for Sandifer, that's usually what he is. And if he gives up 2 in the first, and it's Russell Sandifer, Sully's leaving him in. If he walks the first guy, okay, he's going, well, I have more innings. But you walk the first guy coming in the 5th, you go, okay, now I got to see results. I got to really kind of work through this inning now. I got to battle. But then he couldn't hit the strike zone again. And he goes, okay, well, now I got to throw strikes again. But then he's trying to force things, can't throw any more strikes, walks 3 guys. It's just not Sandifer's, it's just not his thing. It's not his type of pitching. It's not this place that he's used to coming in at. And so it was really weird to see. Obviously, Sandifer was a great pitcher this year for Florida, and it's disappointing to see. But at the same time, it's just not what he's used to doing, and it's hard to throw a guy in there, especially after throwing as many pitches as they did the first day against Ryder and being amazing, and just yeah, disappointing.
Well, me and you have our own. I mean, I'm on the same boat though, and I think I kind of want to. We'll talk about it at the end, kind of just our thoughts from the this tournament. But my insight's this: it's like trying to start a bullpen guy. It's just not his thing. It's kind of helps get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same for a starter trying to bring him in late. We saw Georgia Tech do it with Tate McKee, and look, he's a great arm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not something he's used to. It's like, hey, you don't have time to get settled in. Like, you got to throw, like, now.
Yeah.
I'm opposed to it, which I know it sounds bad, but just from the times I've seen it, it just doesn't always, I mean, there are times it works out, but to me, I just feel like at the end, it doesn't work out too much for you. And in some areas, to me, it's not the most efficient. I think a lot of the time, it just doesn't work out in your favor. I understand the idea because, I mean, numbers wise, it sounds right. Like, let's throw in our ace to come in and close it, but it's a different mindset. It's not like, all right, first pitch, like I got a couple innings, let's settle in. And like, no, you better throw me a strike now, and let's go.
Yeah.
But fun regional and just Troy, man. I mean, we got to talk about them, how good they were this weekend. I mean,
yeah, Troy did. I mean, you got to give them credit. They their bats are ridiculously hot right now.
Especially from Marco Naborov and 8-9.
Jimmy Janicki.
Oh, him.
That's a name that you will know. He will be playing in the MLB. That man is amazing. Florida pitching legitimately could not pitch around him. Like he hit everything, and so yeah, you got to give this Troy team credit. They were hot as all get out. After losing the first game, they said, "Okay, that's fine. We can lose the first game. We'll win the next four." And they did, and they hit their way out of it. They just blew through everybody. And now they get to go host a Super for the first time ever. It's insane to think because, we talked about it. It's just if you're Troy right now, you're probably just in a frantic mode of trying to get ready for this Super Regional come tomorrow. It's going to be insane. I can only imagine the city of Troy, and yeah, good for them. I mean, they played great, and there's a good chance they can get to Omaha. And if they hit like they did, and even their arms were good, obviously against a really hot Florida team, they allow 13, but again, it wasn't close. So it didn't really, nothing had to be special about their pitching, but their starters were great on Sunday and Monday against Florida, and that's what was the big if. Could their starters be good? Who do they have left? It didn't matter who they had left. They had a guy that doesn't start, go out there and be amazing. So if Troy is like this, obviously they play the Little Rock, so it'll be interesting. The Troy Trojans versus the Little Rock Trojans. But if Troy hits like this and they pitch like this, there's a good chance they get to Omaha and maybe do something.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're gonna be a fun team, man. And just watching them play. I mean, they fought their way. Like, I mean, that's just and
that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, and we saw it even in the Sun Belt. Like in the Sun Belt tournament, they had to fight their way. I mean,
yeah,
had a devastating loss to Southern Miss. I mean, you got walked. I believe. Yeah, I mean, you were up in that game and you got walked off, but you fought your way back through that.
Yeah,
and they're a fun team, man, but they're good. They hit well. I mean, we know what they can do, and they're going to be dangerous, man. They can make things interesting.
for sure.
But we'll move on to who they're going to face and who to come out of the Hattiesburg Regional, Little Rock.
Honestly,
we're not surprised, but I think the crazy thing about the crazy thing about it's not really crazy. It's just
I think it is. The crazy thing about this regional is not Little Rock winning. It's Southern Miss going.
Oh, they got
0-2.
Yeah,
it's them not winning a game, and that's what surprises because hosting a regional, usually in Hattiesburg for Southern Miss, it's good. They at least compete, right? They at least make to the regional final. They're a good team. They've got the pitching. They've got the bats. They're a good team, obviously. They're hosting. I mean, they obviously are. 0-2.
I mean, you lost 15-11 to Virginia, 7-4 to Little Rock. And I believe they were, I want to say they were like 34-0 when leading after 8 innings.
You're say 15-4.
No, 15-11. They lost Virginia 15-11. I don't remember the number exactly, but I think they've only lost once in like 102 games when leading after 8.
Yeah.
And Little Rock, I mean, they just
Little Rock just what they
they
did.
just put like, and the thing about Little Rock this series, this whole weekend, they weren't just like, they just did the things right. They weren't getting lucky. It wasn't unforced errors by Jack State or Southern Miss or anything. They just they played good.
They played small ball.
They
They weren't hitting. I don't think, but they weren't hitting a ton of home runs. They were just getting hits after hits, and their pitching was really good. I mean, these teams have great bats, and they have good pitching. Obviously, all these teams in this regional, but Little Rock was just overall a very well-rounded team. There was nothing that they did bad. It's just an easy way to put it. Nothing they did bad. And they walked through this regional 3-0 pretty easily. Honestly, it never looked like a struggle for them to win in these games. And I mean, I called it, especially coming out of the OVC. I called them winning the OVC. We both did, and then I called them winning this regional because I just feel like there's something in Little Rock. We saw it last year. They almost beat LSU. Obviously, this team's different than last year, but they just have this. They have this, like you were saying, this ability to not really. They weren't lucky or anything.
They just
they just played good baseball.
Yeah, I mean, they only had one. They haven't won ball. They had one homer this entire weekend.
Good small ball.
Just singles. You get look. I mean, you've heard this in Little League. If you put the ball in play, good things happen. That's all you got to do. Just get the ball in play. You don't need homers. And I mean, Little Rock example: one home run all weekend.
Yeah.
You put the ball in play, singles, doubles, runs come across the plate.
Yep.
I mean, this team this weekend was just efficient. They looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really excited to see the matchup between Little Rock and Troy. I think this could be just like
Really
a dog fight.
There you go.
I mean, you look at Little Rock's pitching. Brandon Westmoreland in game 1, he went 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks. I mean, he was great for this team. But again, you got to emphasize just the way they played.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything special. They weren't hitting tanks. Just put the ball in play. You put the ball in play, and good things happen.
Yep.
They were very efficient on both sides, playing defense and offense, hitting, and just what they were able to do. I mean, this team, they got all potential to go to Omaha too. I mean,
Yeah.
Troy and Little Rock, I mean, it's going to be a fun regional.
Sure.
But I just was not even, just really shocked Southern Miss couldn't even pull out a game this weekend. I mean, that threw me for a loop. Not seeing them be able to come out of this regional, or not even really just not come out, but just to not even win. Just not a good look. I mean, and, their pitching, we know how good it was, but you gave up 11 or 15 to Virginia, and then you choke it away late in the night, something that, like I said, you don't do often. I believe once in maybe 102 games. But look, man, Little Rock's moving on, and they're going to make things very interesting.
They will.
Against Troy.
Yep.
But now, head to the 10th seed, and
Tallahassee. And I just want to say, St. John's is not the real regional, not the real winner in this regional. The rain is. The rain is the winner in this regional because, my gosh, the amount of rain delays, these games being pushed back, suspended. You'd have thought Tallahassee was in the middle of the ocean and they were having to play. I mean, it rained all weekend. And all these teams, obviously, good for St. John's, good for all these teams. They had to battle through some adversity, and these games were not played at the same times they were supposed to be played. They were pushed back. Games that were played on Saturday were supposed to play on Saturday, played on Sunday. Games supposed to play on Sunday, played on Monday. So, really difficult just for these teams in general. But St. John's, man, I mean, they did what they needed to do. Their pitching was really good this weekend, and I mean that's a simple way to put it. Honestly, that's what won St. John's regional was their pitching. We knew FSU. We questioned what exactly they could actually do, and with like, are they going to keep it up? And they didn't. They didn't really. They lost their first game against St. John's 6-5. It was a really good game, really close game. Then they had to go play Coastal because those were the two teams that lost. This game ends up being suspended. They have to play on Sunday. They beat Coastal in a pitching duel 2-1. They have to go play NIU, win that game easily. Now they got to play St. John's again because St. John's is rolling. And they were up. They were up in this game. They had a 4-2 lead, and then St. John's came back. Actually, they had a 4-0 lead, I believe.
They had
and
it was a 3-0 lead.
3-0 lead, yeah.
And then a grand slam from St. John's.
That's what it was. Yeah. And St. John's just then pitched amazing from there. Scored one more run, and yeah, I mean you got to give credit to St. John's. They just pitched amazing. We didn't. I know Easton here definitely didn't.
I'm going to give my apologies to St. John's. I just didn't arms wise. I wasn't too sure. I didn't think they had the best of arms.
Yeah,
but I was wrong. They pitched well, and I don't mind being wrong, especially in this case with St. John's winning. I personally don't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
But the way they played this week, and again, they just another team gets the ball in play fast on the base paths. They play small ball very fast. And just what they did this weekend, I will say Kevin Schnall was absolutely pissed off about the rain delays, which, he said
what you can do about weather.
Yeah, and then, if you're upset about, the weather and all that good stuff, maybe you should just host a regional, play better throughout the year. But I don't want to get into all that polemic because I'm not part of the NCAA and that's not my responsibility. But St. John's, again, man, just what they did this weekend. Pitching, they were great. I didn't see it. That's unfortunately my fault. But fortunately my fault, They just did what they needed to do in this game. Again, it's simple. Get on base, put the ball in play. They're kind of like Little Rock. Another team plays small ball. Mm-hmm. And all you got to do with them, again, they got the ball in play and they got on base.
Yeah.
They did the little things right to win the game. And, man, just, I don't know what to say. It's just a great weekend from them.
Yeah. It's simple enough. They played great, and now they get to go play an Alabama team, which will be a really interesting matchup, especially with St. John's pitching being really good, Alabama's hitting being really good right now. Can they limit them, or does their pitching get exposed this next weekend? Who knows? But good for St. John's, man. This is their second time ever getting to a super regional. And so
I think it was 19.
I think it's 1982 or something. It was the last time. And so really good for them. But now moving on to Oregon, which, to be honest, we thought this regional would be closer than it was. Just the scores weren't insanely lopsided, but this regional wasn't really as close as we thought it would be. We thought Oregon State would put up more of a fight. Oregon ran through the first game against Yale, easily won it 14-2. Then they played Washington State, who beat Oregon State. Not really surprising, but kind of surprising. It's a very close game, yeah. Washington State pulls that off. Good for them. Washington State plays Oregon. Oregon wins this game 4-0. There was really never any momentum for Washington State in that game. They just couldn't get anything really going. And so then Oregon plays Oregon State because Oregon State beats Washington State. And, they won 4-1. But again, there was really never any momentum for Oregon State in that game. And it's just Oregon kind of just proved that we didn't really know. We thought them being ranked 11 was kind of interesting. Didn't think they could be that high up in the regionals. But they kind of proved that maybe they deserved to be that.
Let me just simply tell you this. And this will just wrap up this regional for you for Oregon. They gave up 3 runs all weekend.
Easily. Yep. I didn't think. Look, I think move on.
That's all you got to say. I mean,
Their pitching was insanely good.
here's the thing. This is, and kind of go back to the Las Vegas Classic. I mean, way early on in non-con play. Like,
Yeah.
I talked about it, and I knew these guys have arms. They could pitch.
Yeah.
Kind of throughout the years, a little shaky to me. I was like, okay, maybe they don't have the arms we thought they had. Like,
Yeah.
but then you just walk into a regional and you just do this. You give up 3 runs.
Yeah.
We know what they have. I mean, Cal Scolari, we know how good he can be. Give up 5 hits. He did walk 5 guys, but he had 5 Ks. Didn't give up any runs.
Yeah.
Minimized the damage when he needed to. I mean, in Washington State, you get a shutout.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you give 1 run Oregon State.
Yeah.
Like, their rotation is good.
It's just solid.
The ceiling is very high for this group. Like Will Sanford, one of their best arms, 6 1/3, 1 hit, 2 walks, 14 strikeouts.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Wazoo, like, just couldn't get anything going in this game. And then Oregon State, I mean, again, I told you, like, and honestly, in this game, I mean, Oregon scored late, scored 3 runs at the top of the 7th to come away with this one. But, again, Miles.
But it never felt like it got out of hand for Oregon because of their good pitching.
Yeah.
Like even when they were down 1-0 in that game, they tied it up, and I think in the top of the fourth, but it never felt like Oregon couldn't win the game because their pitching didn't give up anything else after that 1 run. I mean, they just
Miles
closed it out.
Yeah, I mean, and Miles Gatzola, final game, you went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 8 Ks. I mean,
Yep.
this staff was dealing them. That's all you need to say. Look, this pitching group, it's good. I mean, again, we at the beginning of the season, I talked about it throughout the years. Like, okay, what do we have? And then you saw it this weekend. When these guys can pitch,
Yeah.
they can pitch. Yeah. Speaking of pitching,
Well, I just want to say, Texas versus Oregon will be quite the matchup because of pitching. I mean, you talk about 2 teams that can pitch. If they pitch, both those teams pitch like they did this week, it'll be quite the pitcher's duel. It does bring the question though: can Oregon's bats be hot enough? Can they get hot enough to bat against Texas and can potentially pull off a couple wins or not? Because they didn't score a lot of runs this week, other than against Yale. After that, they only scored 8. So it just brings the question: are their bats going to be hot enough to beat Texas? But we'll come to find out pretty soon. So.
I mean, as we'll go to the next matchup, and a team who we know can pitch.
Oh yeah.
USC. You lose game 1, 4-5. It's like, oh boy. And we're kind of like, okay, Texas State. Like,
Yeah.
can you make something happen?
Texas State could battle.
And then here comes the USC. You win.
And you say something about pitching, but before you even say these scores, let's just say USC got the hottest of bats possible. I think they could have got. Like we know their pitching is good, but their bats, all of a sudden, they just they couldn't miss the baseball. I mean, I don't know how that happens. I mean, honestly, it's just insane. But in a 3-game span, they scored 48 runs.
Yeah, 48 runs.
48 runs. And then in their last game, they score
7. And this game was close for a while, I will say. I mean, it was a close game.
They scored 55 runs in 4 games.
They came alive, and that's and I don't know if I really said it out loud. I know I talked to you about it. Like, we know their pitching is good. Can their bats? How much of an impact can their bats have? How impactful can they be? In game situations like this, and they were. Lopez, late the 8th, or no, it was in the 7th. Excuse me, hit an absolute bomb. This was a rocket, but hits a bomb and to go up 5-1 in the 7th. But I think it's just fair to say. I mean, this team, we know what they can do pitching, and seeing their bats like this. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Augie Lopez in this game had 5 RBIs.
Yeah.
Big impactful player for them. And we'll shout out their pitch. I mean, Grant Govell, we know how good he can be, man. 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And I will shout out Clayton Freshborn. I mean,
Yeah.
he threw 101 pitches. I mean, season
did.
high, I believe, was
He did.
around 60. 6 2/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Obviously, 3 of those runs coming on the 3-run bomb from Augie. But he pitched well, and as simple as this, man, USC and North Carolina. It's gonna be a really fun regional.
Well,
Or not
and
so-
I believe my math is right, but USC scored 59 runs this whole weekend, this last weekend. They gave up 14. They outscored their that's a scoring margin of 55.
40.
Sorry, 45. By the way, 45. That's insane. I mean, we knew they could pitch, and their pitching was really, really good. But my word, when you put their pitching and their hitting together like that, I'm just gonna say UNC. Yeah, they might need to watch out.
Look
Yeah,
out.
because if their bats are this hot, I mean UNC pitching, we know they're great, and their bats could be good. They have some clutch bats, but I'm honestly kind of interested to see what USC can do, because if they play like this, there's a chance they could do some damage in Omaha.
Oh, 100%. There's no question about that one. But now, let's head to the Lincoln Regional. And no, the Cornhuskers did not get out of this one.
Not surprising.
We weren't surprised.
No.
But the Ole Miss Rebels, which I'm not surprised by,
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
I picked them to win.
yeah, came out of this one. You know, simple thoughts for Ole Miss. Taylor Rabe, just keep dealing, brother.
Yeah.
This guy can pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Then this whole pitching group, man, they had a dogfight in game one.
I do want to give credit to Arizona State.
Yeah.
They had a chance to win this regional because they went to extra innings with Ole Miss twice. In the first game, they went 14 innings. They lost 7-6. In their second game they played on Sunday, they lost 5-4 in 10. They had every chance.
Mm-hmm. Both these teams, man, like it was kind of fun. In the 14
Yeah.
inning game, I mean, and with runner just
I
scoring
didn't think that
position,
game would end.
no, with runner just scoring position, they just could not get the guys in.
No.
And I will, give my apologies to the Arizona State bullpen because you got it pretty good this weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to apologize because I really did dog on their bullpen a little bit.
You did.
And hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will admit when I'm wrong, and I was very wrong.
Yeah.
Now, not the Nebraska game. Nebraska made that interesting.
No.
But that's the outlier. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But look, Ole Miss, I mean, when their rotation is on, simple as we can put it, just like Alabama, when their rotation is on,
They're good.
They are
They're one of the
pitching.
best pitching teams
Yeah.
in the nation. Because you saw it last year with what Ole Miss could do pitching.
Mm-hmm.
They have basically the same rotation.
I
I mean, they legitimately. So, like, we know how good they can be. It's just they've been up and down all year. They've had really good weekends. They've had really bad weekends. So you see them, they just. And we didn't know what to expect going into this weekend. Would it be the good pitching group that we've seen sometimes throughout the year, or would it be the bad one and they're going to have to hit their way out of it? And their bullpen was great. Their starters they could be better. They could be better. But their bullpen was good enough. And that's all it needed to be. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they pitch well. I mean, again, Hudson, Calhoun, Walker Hooks, two of their best guys. Libert come out of the bullpen.
yeah.
And and Robertson at that too as well. I mean, look, this team has all the ceiling in the world and the potential, okay,
Yeah.
to come out of this,
Yeah.
to be an Omaha team.
For sure.
But the same, it's consistency.
Yeah.
And that's always a tough part of the team. Like, they're the hardest ones to predict.
Yeah.
And we see it in March Madness. Like, it's like when you're picking brackets or selecting which team you want to, like, okay, like, what do I do with this team? There's always those 3 teams, a couple teams you're just looking at and they're like, well, I know how good they can be.
Yeah. But will they do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they're the toughest ones to predict. But this rotation was great. We know these guys can hit. And you have to feel bad for Landon Harrison, Arizona State. He could not play in the final game. He got ejected for tossing a bat or a little bat flip after striking out. Whether it was an intended bad call or just frustrated for not swinging.
Just can't do it.
Yeah, you just can't. It's a simple rule.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Ole Miss moves on, and hey, man, they can make some noise.
Yeah.
They play Auburn, which would be a very fun SEC matchup.
For sure. For sure.
Speaking of SEC matchups,
Yeah.
let's go to Starkville, Mississippi State.
There's not really much to
Yeah.
say about this regional other than Mississippi State played amazing. I mean, they didn't do anything bad. I mean, legitimately, we knew this Mississippi State team could pitch good. It was whether or not their bats could get really hot, and well, yeah, their bats got really hot. They scored 20 runs in their first 2 games.
They scored 39 runs.
Yeah, then they scored 39 runs in the 3 games they played. That's 13 a game, by the way. It's the average.
39 to 11.
Like they ran through this. I mean, there was no stopping them. We thought Louisiana could potentially stop them because UL came in hot. We didn't really know what to expect from Cincy. Cincy did play good. Got to give them credit. They battled their way this weekend, but UL was not hot at all. Not the team we saw in the Sun Belt tournament. But you got to give it to Mississippi State. They played amazing. They pitched good. They hit amazingly. If they do this, Georgia could have some troubles. But it will be a very interesting matchup if Mississippi State plays like this.
Yeah, I mean you said it. And there's
I mean,
nothing much to talk about.
No.
These guys can hit though, and we know what they can have if their arms are on.
For sure.
Let's go to the Lawrence Regional, and I feel so good. I feel very good.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
Disappointingly enough.
you know, Arkansas, the pitching struggles showed up again.
Yeah.
They really did.
We thought that's what would hold them in this weekend.
Yeah, it's just, they showed up. I mean, you went 5-3, or we'll start with Kansas. They had 3 games, won 63 against Northeastern, 5-3 against Arkansas, 13-10 against Arkansas. Arkansas pitched good in game 2. I mean, they just lost 5-3. LeBlanc with a late homer.
Yeah.
But you look at the Northeastern game, Northeastern almost came back to win that. Arkansas won 10-9, but the pitching troubles came back.
They did.
And that's
sadly enough, because we knew this team could hit. We knew this team could battle in this regional. We thought that I thought they could win this regional. And I think most people, we thought they should be hosting a regional. So it was really disappointing to see Arkansas have the struggles that they had earlier on in the season. Because they've been pitching so good. We watched them pitch so good in the SEC tournament. We thought if they pitched like that, they could make it to Omaha. I mean, and they just came out this week kind of flat. And I think maybe it was a.
I think what really hurt them is losing game 2.
Yeah,
100% hurt, because now the thing is we didn't know. We know the arms they have. I just didn't know how deep they could go, and unfortunately, and that's why the game 2. I mean, game 1's obviously very important first off, but losing game 2. That really hurt because now you're forced to go deep.
Yeah. But and it was disappointing to see Arkansas do that because maybe we saw their highs too early. Maybe they kind of peaked with their pitching in the SEC tournament. They just came out a little flat in the regional, and
I don't think they pitched bad in the regional.
I don't think they pitched they didn't pitch like bad, but they didn't do enough.
Yeah. Well, again, the big thing, and I kind of
Kansas is just just good.
Yeah, and the thing with that, again, simple is this: I knew when they lost game 2, I had some doubt because now they're going to be forced to go back and go deep in that bullpen and in that rotation. I just didn't know if they'd be able to have it. But let's talk about Kansas first off. Dominic Vogel, I talked about him. Love this arm. He went 7 innings with 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and he dominated. I mean, he's one of their best arms. We know how good he is. They take game 1, and then you go to game 2, and this team wins 5-3. Tyson LeBlanc, clutch. One of their best hitters on this team. This guy can hit. He was absolutely amazing. He did great this regional. They've got a great lineup, all in all. But I look at Kansas, and the pitching did its job this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew how good the pitching can be. We knew what its ceiling and potential was, and it was good. And then you go to the game 3, or first game on Sunday of the series, and closing out, and 13-10 win. It was an absolute dogfight. But again, man, this Kansas team is nitty gritty. I mean, they fought. I mean, they were a great team. They were down 5-0 early, and then at the top of the 4th had a 6-run inning. and there was just no looking back. I mean, these guys were great. I mean, and you look at in this game. I mean, you're looking at Arkansas and how deep they had to go. I mean, they used 7 guys, and that's where the concern fell for me. And that's again, that's why losing that game too, I felt was very crucial for Arkansas. I mean, now you're forced to go deep into your bullpen, and
Yeah.
it just was not good enough. But Kansas, man, these guys are nitty gritty. They are a great team. We know what they can do. We obviously know how good they can be.
Yeah.
They're walking out of this regional winners and an old Big 12 rivalry
Yeah.
matched up, and they will play Oklahoma. But what a weekend win for them.
Yep.
And let's go to West Virginia to end this all off.
Should we sing it? I'm just kidding.
West
Virginia.
You know, I wouldn't mind singing it. I mean,
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. West Virginia, man, they played good because they win their first game, and we know West Virginia was going to be a tough out in their own regional, especially in Morgantown. Morgantown is, I think, one of the best venues in college baseball, and we saw it this weekend. It was absolutely insane. Yes, and you saw them win their first game. They win it good, easily. They go play Kentucky on Saturday. They lose 11-9 in Kentucky. An amazing game, but they lose 11-9
for sure too.
They should have. They go and play Wake Forest. They beat Wake Forest 10-5, I believe, right? 10-5.
Yeah,
and then they go play Kentucky on Sunday, and this time they win 11-9 in an absolutely insane game because Kentucky should have won that game, all because of a balk. That was bad, and they should have. Kentucky should have won that game. West Virginia comes and wins that game 11-5. They go to a game 7 on Monday, and my word, did it show out. Morgantown was amazing, and West Virginia in 10 innings they walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. They 6-5,
and it kind of and let's not forget, Kentucky had a 4-run top of the 8th.
They did.
After the 7th, we're like, okay, like this has just been smooth sailing. West Virginia should just kind of sail along, and here comes
West Virginia did what Kentucky did on Sunday, let them back into the game, and then West Virginia did what West Virginia does, and Morgantown showed out, and they helped them to the win, I think.
And Maxiell in this game, he went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks. He's one of their best arms. Yeah. Love what he has, and you look at this West Virginia group, and again, they fought. Like you got to win. You just got to find ways to win. You're able to do that, and Kentucky's into things. We weren't surprised. The bullpen and the pitching it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it didn't shock one of us. Sure. We know they can hit, find ways to get on base, but look, the pitching was not there. Yeah. It wasn't good enough, and this West Virginia team made them pay. But I love this group. I think, again, the sky's the limit for these guys. I mean,
so especially being in Morgantown, can't we see Morgantown in a super?
Yeah, I mean, I had them going to Omaha.
That'd be insane.
I mean, I had them going to Omaha, and I had them playing UCLA next round and winning in the supers. I mean, I'm a big believer in this team. We know how good they can be.
Hosting a Cal Poly team in Morgantown. Morgantown will be rocking.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't say anything yet, but I believe we'll be hearing Country Roads again at least once. I feel like, if not a couple of times, because I think this West Virginia team's good enough, and there's a chance they could be singing Country Roads in Omaha if they can.
But they get
they do.
But 100%. But they will get an interesting matchup in Cal Poly, which we talked about earlier on. They can be a very interesting team.
Yeah.
But that is kind of a recap of your regionals.
Yeah.
One final thing before we get out of here. I did kind of you have any takeaways from this regional, all in all, just in overall takeaways?
The parody in baseball is the best it's ever been, easily. We saw UCLA lose. We saw Georgia Tech lose. And we saw Nebraska lose. We saw Texas A&M lose. We saw Florida State lose. We saw Florida and Southern Miss lose. I mean, legitimately, 7 national seeds lost. And honestly, probably like 5 of those we didn't think could lose. They weren't the teams we thought could lose their regionals.
Definitely the 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, the 1 and that's It's just a different ballgame now in baseball, I think, and we'll begin to see that. None of the 8 teams in Omaha last year are going to be in Omaha this year. They didn't even make a super.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's going to be insane. Supers will be great. There are a lot of great matchups, a lot of fun ones. Who knows? We may see some. I mean, we will see a small team in Omaha because it's either going to be Troy Trojans or it's going to be the Little Rock Trojans. But who knows? We could see Cal Poly. You could see St. John's. It's going to be an insanely fun Super Regionals, I believe, and can't wait to see those. But I mean, regionals are regionals. I think that's all you can say. It's baseball, man.
Yeah. For me, really just two things. First off, just start your Friday guy game one.
Okay.
I mean, the amount of teams that didn't do that and it didn't go their way, a lot. Just stick to your rotation. Stick what you've had all year.
Yep.
Two, I'm just shout out the umpires for enforcing rules. Rules are just rules. Like
That was definitely enforced this week.
well, like I mean, everyone's like, oh, like this is soft. Trey Fell's getting ejected. It's a rule in the book. Just don't look at the dugout. Nobody said he couldn't celebrate. Just don't be stupid. Like, you can't look at the dugout and then just start taunting. I mean, and expect like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. Just don't be stupid. But I shout at them. I thought they enforced the rules, which is what you're supposed to do. You know, and that there. But again, I love what you said, and I'm on the same boat, Parody. I was excited. Like, obviously, being an LSU fan and, being just watching them two not making it was sad, but, like, watching this regional, I couldn't be more happier for college baseball.
Sure.
Love the Parody, and I'm very excited going forward.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for us today. We will have super regional projections coming out later and our picks and thoughts. But go follow us at Across the Board, all our socials, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon Music, all those good things. And you will see us again later on. So I hope you all have a good day. And anything you want to add before we go?
See you all next week.
Yeah. See y'all next week.
And watch some baseball.